Now, we've already talked about interior painting and how important it is to really clean and prep those surfaces before you start applying any paint. Well, that concept is even more important on the exterior because of all of the elements you have to deal with sun and rain and snow and wind. Everything really works on those exterior paint jobs, and you can see on this house where it's really taking its toll. I mean, look at all the things that need to be done here. The repairing of the wood in the corner, a real common place for water damaged wood. You have all of the fascia board that will have to be sanded down because it's peeling all the way back to the raw wood, and you have a number of other kind of unique things on this particular house. Metal windows. At some point someone replaced a broken window pane, and when they did, they didn't use the proper glazing. They used a silicone caulk which will not hold paint, so that'll have to be removed, reglazed, as well as some other work that'll have to be done on this window before it's ready to paint. Now, another thing that they've already done here, which is a really good idea, is to keep all of your shrubs trimmed back. Not only so that it allows plenty of room to work behind it, but if the shrubs get up real high, the sun won't be able to keep everything dry. You'll end up with a lot of water damage behind it. Also, many houses will have some type of metal on the outside of the house, and if you have handrails like we have here or anything else that metal or steel, this all has to be sanded down and primed properly. If not, that rust will work its way right back through. And another thing, you gotta have a clean surface when you're painting, so a lot of pressure washing will be taking place on the outside of this house. Not only the areas that are going to be painted, but also some of these old dirty bricks can look a lot better after a good pressure washing. So there's a lot of prep work on the outside of this house.
Since there's no point in prepping rotten wood, the first step is the removal of the water-damaged fascia boards. A careful cut is made beyond the damaged area so that the roofing can be pried up and the bad wood removed. Then new material is cut to fit and slipped into position. This new wood will have to be primed before the top coat goes on, but the next step is cleaning the entire house to remove any dirt or mildew which would prevent the new paint from forming a good bond with the old. Scraping comes next, and this can be very tedious. In fact, many pros use a rotary sander to speed up the process, but if you choose to rent or buy one, use it carefully. They're aggressive machines, and you can quickly gouge a wood surface if you lose focus. When the failed paint is gone, flaws in the wood beneath it are often revealed. Filling these in will mean a smoother finish after the final coat of paint. It's also important to fill gaps between boards with caulk on the outside, just as we did on the inside. But here, it's not just for looks. The caulk keeps out moisture, preventing wood decay. To replace the silicone caulk around the windows, the guys are using glazing putty, which can easily be painted once it's dry, unlike the silicone caulk. Prepping rusted metal usually requires a lot of elbow grease or horsepower. A wire brush attachment for a grinding tool like this one is one of the quickest ways to get the job done, and following it with a rust stabilizer will help keep the rust at bay.
When all the other prep was done, the raw wood and bare metal was all covered with a coat of primer before they put on 2 coats of finished paint.